If you're the only person in your company who can close a deal, you don't have a sales system. You have a personality, and personality does not scale. I see this all the time with remodelers. You're great in the home. You read people well. You handle objections naturally. You explain pricing in a way that builds trust. Then you try to hand off sales, and then your close rates drop. So you jump back in. It's not about removing yourself from sales. It's about replacing yourself with structure. So let's break it down. Why does close rate fall when the owner steps out? Because most owner-led sales live up here in your head. The offer isn't clear. The next step isn't obvious. Objection handling isn't documented. And qualification is kind of instinct, not process. So when you leave, everything feels off. Services can be harder to sell than products because products are clear. It's this tangible thing. It does X. It costs Y. Done. But remodeling, it's a little nebulous. So the first move in removing yourself from sales is this. Make the next step extremely clear. Not, we'll send something over, not, we'll follow up, but this is the next step. It's called our design agreement. Here's what you get, here's what it costs, here's what happens after. That clarity alone increases the close rate, even without you in the room. Second, stop selling verbally. When it's all in your head, you ramble. Clients get confused. When it's structured, you present. Bring a simple one-pager, a clear offer sheet, a printed document, something visual. This is critical whether you're the one selling or you're handing it off. Personality sells loosely. Structure sells consistently. If your salesperson can point to what's included, what happens in phase 1, what happens in phase 2, and what the investment is, your close rate stabilizes. Third, you want to anchor high, then provide a clear choice. Consider a premium design option that's roughly 3 times higher in price than the standard option. That anchoring does 2 things. It elevates perceived value, and it gives the client control through choice. When you remove yourself from sales, giving structured options reduces the pressure on the salesperson. Instead of convincing someone, they're guiding them through options, and that changes the dynamic entirely. Now, let's talk about objections. This is where most owners think, yeah, but my rep won't handle pushback like I do. When an objection comes, don't just answer it, ask a question first. Here's an example. Can you just ballpark it? Now, instead of defending that, ask, hey, is it more important to get to a quick number or a number that's actually accurate? Now you're in control again. Or when they say something like, we need to think about it. Instead of saying, okay, let me know, try something like this. Hey, I totally understand. I like to talk to my spouse too on big decisions. I'm going to step outside for 10 or 15 minutes, send a couple of emails. Why don't you guys talk it through and I'll come back in to answer any final questions. That's structure. That's not personality, it's repeatable. And if they still need time, you schedule the next meeting before you leave. Owners often close deals because they naturally maintain control of momentum, but you can teach that. Fourth, reframe design as insurance. When clients ask, why should I pay for design? That's not a price objection. It's a risk objection. Try something like this. Yeah, we used to give ballpark estimates, then we dig into it and it was $100,000 more. Everyone was frustrated. That's why we changed our process. Design isn't a fee, it's insurance against a 6-figure mistake. That message doesn't require you, it requires a script, and scripts can be memorized by any of your sales team. If your close rate collapses without you, one of 3 things is happening. 1, your offer isn't clear. 2, your objection handling isn't documented. Or 3, your metrics aren't tracked. Here are the critical components that you need. An offer, objections, proof, practice runs. You don't hope someone can sell like you. You train them inside of a framework. Removing yourself from sales does not mean disappearing. It means becoming the architect instead of the closer. You still review call recordings, role-play objections, refine the offer, adjust the pricing anchors, track close rate by stage. But you're not the one driving across town at 7 p.m. to save the deal. Let's zoom out for a second. If you can't remove yourself from sales, you can't scale, you can't step back, you can't sell the company, you can't create leadership underneath you, and eventually you burn out. You remain stuck in sales forever. The goal isn't to be the best closer in the company. The goal is to build a sales process that works without you. A clear offer, a clear next step, documented objections, structured follow-up, anchored pricing, scheduled momentum. That's how you remove yourself without killing your close rate. Not by hiring a salesperson, but by building a system. We'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.